We have a question from a spiritual seeker, and he says, the question I want to ask is about the journey of spirituality. I embarked on this journey after experiencing deep loneliness, negative opinions about myself, and thoughts of ending the show. I lost my father at the age of 14, and it caused a lot of problems. Now I'm 21 years old. I have a really negative self image. I want to be free of these issues. Now I'm aware that it's all the trap of ego, but still it bothers me a lot. The situation was worse in the past, where I would regret after saying something against someone's ideas. I compare myself with others, and negative self centered thoughts arise even after being conscious. I am feeling lost, confused, and wondering. But deep down, I know it's the ego playing its part. I don't have literally any desires, motivation, or anything now. I'm a university student and a topper of my batch. Now, sitting in the class also doesn't make any sense. I can't relate to anyone around me. I have seen all your videos and they helped a lot. But now the situation is worsening day by day. Looks like I'm going through the dark night of the soul. Kindly show some pointers to navigate through this situation. Thank you. The tender age, 21 years old. You see, the reason why situation gets worse in the dark night of the soul is because we start resisting what is. We start fighting our own conditioning. We are resisting the pain, and in that resistance, the pain is increasing even more and more. What one can do simply is accept the situation right now as it is presenting. Now, I know this is not an easy thing for the separative mind, because the ego mind says, no, I must get more peace. I must do something to make more peace, to make my life more colorful, to experience the joy, the bliss of oneness. The ego says that. But what it is missing is what is happening in the given moment. And as a result, the stress accumulates because you see, you are a student, so you have workload, assignments, classes, and as it is, the curriculum of these studies it's tough. So one needs focus, concentration. But then this happens, the awakening happens, the crack happens, and one gets confused. What to do? I don't relate. What should I do? So I say the best thing to do at this point is to simply accept the situation and keep moving quietly. I know you may not like this response, but allow your mind to understand the nature of things as it experiences day-to-day living. And let the understanding, the impersonal understanding, happen naturally. Do not concern yourself with trying to end your dark night of the soul. It is not your dark night of the soul, it is just the dark night of the soul. The notion of you is an illusion. The ego that you say that I am aware that it is the trap of the ego. Are you separate from that ego? That is the question. And the answer is that you are not separate from the ego, you are that ego. So what you're trying to escape from is not something separate from you. But when you realize your true nature, which can happen only in silence, and when silence happens is God's will. The only way to make peace in this moment is to accept the situation the way it is. This is what Lord Shri Krishna said to Arjun also, because he was having an emotional crisis, seeing his relatives in the battlefield, his teachers, his masters, his brothers, and he had to fight them. Not just fight them, he had to kill them. He had to win the war. He had to fight the war. So Krishna told him that right now you must do your dharma. You must do what you have been trained to do. So I would say, now I am no Lord Krishna, but I would say take wisdom from Lord Krishna's words and do your karma in this given moment. Do whatever naturally comes to you without giving attention to these sensations or feelings. Now, if the feelings show up, the sensation show up, attend to them. Do not fight them. Because when you fight, you basically make what is painful worse. So, allow them to surface in consciousness and see what they are leading you to, where they are pointing you to. What is the nature of this I that says, I know that it is a trap. You say, I have no desires or motivation. Nothing makes sense to me. What is this I? What is this me? That is the fundamental question here. That is the inquiry. But you are in this situation where you are in a college, you're in a university, and you have to study. So, in the given moment, accepting the situation, move forward with your courses, with your studies, and let the investigation, the observation happen parallelly. It just keeps happening. Your day-to-day interactions, with your peers, with teachers, your experiences in everyday living will give you the right insight. What you are looking for will not be found with avoidance. What you're looking for truly will be found with acceptance. So, acceptance comes from surrender. Actually, acceptance and surrender are one and the same thing. Why things get worse is because we are fighting. Now, you need to take a look at the feelings, the thoughts that you're fighting. In this present moment, there is nothing to fight. There is pure observation. But the moment mind goes into the future, what will I be? What will happen? What is my future? Where will my spiritual path lead me to? All that future-related thinking will create anticipation, will create anxiousness. So all you can do is, in this time when you're experiencing this dark night of the soul, bring yourself in this very, very moment and just investigate. Simply look what is happening. Look at how the mind is working. Look at how the mind is labeling things. Look at how the mind is coming up with justifications. I don't have control. I have lost motivation. I don't know what to do. I have lost desires. These are all very fickle things. These desires may arise later on. The motivation may come back later on. It happens. I've seen it. I have personally also experienced it. I have gone through this phase where once I lost all motivation, all desires. And then at some point, all those motivations and desires came back. And they came back with a huge force. So then I allowed the desires to do whatever they wanted to do. Didn't mean I gave expression to every desire, but I didn't resist them. I accepted them very lovingly. Because at some point I knew that every desire also comes from the consciousness. It is an arising in consciousness. It is not my personal desire. Who am I to lose the motivation? If I know my true nature, I will just do what is required in a given moment, utilizing my working mind, my creative mind. So, right now, what is my life goal? Where do I need to focus? What is best for me right now in this given moment? Do not go on the fantasies of going into the Himalayas or caves and meditating. You can do that later on, you know. You can try that if you want to, but ultimately, wherever you go, you carry the mind with you. And if the mind is not satisfied here and coming up with reasons and justifications to escape this, whatever is, it will also come up with excuses and justifications there in the Himalayas. Even in the Himalayas, your mind will not leave you. The ego will still come up, sneak through the back door, and say, but you're not doing this, you're not doing enough sadhana, the conditions are not right, you're not still attaining samadhi, you must attain nirvikalp sahaj samadhi, only then you are fulfilled, then you're whole, then you become this, become that. So the trap of becoming unbecoming, this self, understand its nature, it is fragmented. So all these thoughts that are being generated, where you're saying that I have a negative opinion of myself, that I feel deep loneliness, investigate what is the nature of this self. Is it there? Is it real? What you will notice is that this comes and goes. And Ramana Maharishi said what comes and goes is not real. So the only practice, the only sadhana is whenever these thoughts come up, whenever these feelings which keep you confused, which keep you wandering, which keeps you lost, whenever they come, and whenever you remember that you're not the feelings, you're not this confusion, which you will remember, bring yourself very gently to this present moment without judging yourself. If you get lost in thoughts and thoughts create pain, don't judge yourself after that for failing. I'm telling you these things because I have been a student myself, and I used to be a very hardworking student. And I have experienced this for myself too, that I would try to be quiet and then thoughts would arise and they would lead me one after the another. And all of this negativity, the negative self-talk and experience of loneliness, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, all of these things would come up and they would be like linked as chain of thinking. But at some point, thinking got cut off. And even in your case, the thinking has got cut off, because that's how you know that all of this is happening. If you were completely immersed in thinking, you wouldn't have even known. Because there are many people who keep talking to themselves. They would just blabber, something, thinking nobody's watching them, completely lost, but they're not even aware of what patterns their mind is running. And they experience so much suffering, so much pain. So I see that there is grace here because at least you are aware of these patterns. You can see how your mind is working, what it is producing. Now, investigate if the content that your mind is producing, all this negativity, opinions, where is it ultimately leading you to? It is all bringing attention to me, I. This happened to me, that happened to me. I experience loneliness, I experience negativity. So all this attention towards this me, I, mine, is there any reality to this I, this me? That is the only thing that needs to be investigated. So just bring yourself to this present moment and see if you can find me. That is the only investigation that you need. Beyond that, nothing else is needed as a separate practice. But if you want, you can do meditation and other practices if you feel like. But ultimately, Life and its process as it is happening is the real meditation. So investigate, observe. That's what I would say. And the truth will reveal itself. You don't have to feel the pressure or the burden to find the truth. The truth will find you. Allow it to do so. Let the awareness do its job, as I often say. Wish you all the best. Take very good care of yourself. And reach out to me if you have any problems.